Hi, I'm Patrick and welcome to my whiskey den. I want to thank you for showing up on the inaugural episode. I really appreciate that. If you like what you see, hit that button, and even better, hit the subscribe button at the end of the episode when you get a chance. Well, I want to go over a couple things today, being as it is the inaugural episode. One is the content that we're going to be putting out for you. Two, we're going to go over a whiskey review of Driftless Glen Young Rye. And three, we're going to talk about Distill America, Wisconsin's premier distilling event where there's going to be all sorts of whiskey, but not only that, vodka, gin, all rums, all sorts of other stuff to wet your whistle this weekend. So, welcome to my whiskey den. As far as content and formatting goes, we're going to be doing whiskey reviews once a week, and then at least once a month we're going to get out into the community. We're going to go out to a distillery or a whiskey establishment or even your own whiskey den, and we're going to come out there with 10 questions so that we get to know your whiskey friend better. And what better way to do that than by sharing a dram with them. The focus of this show is going to be on Wisconsin and Midwest distilleries. They're a section that gets lost in the whiskey shuffle as far as I'm concerned. With the heavy hitters out there like Scotland, Texas, and Kentucky, we do kind of slide by. So I want to show a light on some of the things that are going on here, because there's some amazing whiskeys that are being made with some wonderful stories behind them. And I hope to show you those and get the notoriety to some of these people that they deserve for the hard work that they're putting in. And keeping with the Wisconsin and Midwest regional theme, the very first thing we should review on the show should probably come from Wisconsin. So I spoke to a bunch of people in the state and in the surrounding area of the Midwest, and one whiskey came up time and time again, and it was also recommended by Ed over at the Rotgut review. I don't know if his dad likes rye so much, but Ed really does, and they said that Driftless Glen's Young Rye was one to get. I was lucky enough to find it myself. This one shows up at 61.3% alcohol by volume, and it's a nice little young number that was only aged for 14 months and bottled by a guy named Max. So far he's done a wonderful job. Nothing wrong with the bottle. So let's dig into this one's nose. Ooh, not very alcoholic, but strong rye notes and a little bit of that pickle. Not bad. Very, actually, really pleasant on the nose. So nothing jumping out strange at me or anything like that. So let's take a look at the little sample taste here. Ooh. Oh, well, that's pleasant. That's actually really exciting. The first half of that, it gets in your mouth and wraps around your tongue. It kind of holds it there with a little leather and really light rye spice, not very heavy. It's really kind of the leather and kind of a clove note almost. And then as soon as you swallow, wow, like air hits there, and it's an explosion of rye spice and like bang, like 3-4 different places. It's still kind of holding on and going through that in my mouth right now. It's a really long kind of clingy hold after. This is wonderful, Ed. I don't even like rye, and this is fantastic. I do get a bit of that dill pickle thing. That is in there. But the other spices kind of trump it. You get like a thin line of pickle when you swallow. Kind of fades away, and the other spices kind of hang on and kind of roll over the top. You don't even really get too much of an alcohol burn from this at all. And it's rich and oily. It's the cling, like I said before, is just holding on. Well, this is wonderful. Thank you, Ed and Steven Anderson and everyone else who recommended me try this one. It is definitely a winner, and I'm sorry I can't get my hands on it anymore. But I am hopeful to head down and try the rye cast strength and the 51 rye that they're going to have at Distill America this weekend. And that brings us to Distill America 11. How this passed me the last decade, I do not know, and I am completely ashamed of myself for not going to this. It is an event that takes place in Madison, Wisconsin this weekend, February 16th, at the Edgewater Hotel. We're lucky enough to get this type of spirits festival put on because the Madison Malt Society invested in it about a decade ago, thinking they didn't have anything like this. It has grown and has become completely fruitful. I'm lucky enough to get to go to it this weekend. They're going to have over 20 of the big brand reps there and about 75 of the local Midwest and Wisconsin regional distilleries there. Now, when you go to something that has almost 100 different distilleries in attendance for you to taste, you're typically paying about $200 to $280 for a ticket. To this event, you only get to pay $60 to get into this. Now, they do have a VIP where you get in an hour earlier and a super VIP where you get a world liquor tasting. The other thing with that is they're sold out. You might still be able to get general admission tickets. Check the link below, and if you're lucky enough and have some free time, show up at the event. Ed O'Meara at the Rotgut Review did a wonderful interview with some of the people in charge of the event for Distill America. I'm going to put a link to it up here. You should go to it to take a look at it because it really gives you some behind the scenes insights into how these people view the event and what they got out of it. It was eye-opening and it makes you really, really appreciate what's going on here. So take a time and go take a look at that. With over 70 Wisconsin and Midwest distilleries going to be at this event, you can see why it would be up my alley and why I'd want to be involved with it. We're going to see if we can find some hidden gems that I didn't know about this weekend where we can travel to this summer and take a look at their distilleries and hopefully get a behind the scenes peek as to the craft and how they're doing. So, with the excitement building and I can't wait to get to hell to Happy Town this weekend. From my den to yours, remember, it's not the size of the den, it's the love of the whiskey. Cheers.